what are we talking about this month, Beth?
Oh, so this month is a kind of, we didn't even really intentionally do it, but it's been building every month, right? Like where last month we were talking about compensation, and we talked about, what do you pay an agent? And then we got into how the operations team best practice or what they're finding for tracking it and what that looks like. And where I've talked to a few people this week too, and what this like kind of leads into when we talk about compensation, when you're asking an agent or someone on your team to give you part of their commission dollars is like for what, right? Like what do you offer as a team? And one of the things that we were excited, we talked about Monday night on Instagram Live is just like that it can change and it varies over time and no one has it right? So I mean, I know, especially I will say at Real in the community, I talk to a lot of people, and I know, Siri, you are familiar with Hatches, like leads, leadership, leverage. And then so I
Mm-hmm.
hear that a lot in our community just because I think it's spoken and it's like kind of become a common language. But kind of to break that into pieces and kind of go outside of that is to really look at what do you offer as a team, and in kind of more big picture, there's lots of things, right? And they fall into those buckets, but it's yeah, talking about
Right.
why you're going to get the compensation that you're getting and what you're trying to build, because it is a business, and then it's like a product or anything or a service what you're offering.
Right. Yep. And I think, yep. So here we go. Here's another slide here. So recipe, tech stack, ops support, and culture. I think what we really want to emphasize is there's going to be um, all kind of like stages when you're building a team of what you provide. And, you know, like Beth and I had said, and kind of preluding up to this, is we're going to show you big picture. Don't let big picture scare you in any way, shape, or form. We're going to show you big picture. But we also want to make sure we're always scaling it back to like, I feel like some of our audiences, those agents that are a little smaller, a little newer in the process, are just wanting to start a team. And so we'll provide the whole thing. Don't let our kind of grandiosity of like all of our stuff scare you in any way. It's more to just give you like shoot for this, but here's where we start. So um, speaking of that, so 101, what do you provide? So taking it back a little bit, like if you are just getting started or you have a smaller team, what do you provide? And we wanted to break it down in what we think you should be looking at providing as a just getting started or a smaller team. So obviously you guys can see this in here. CRM, right? Like you hear it all the time, client relationship manager. Make sure you have that. Make sure that it's something that you believe is going to stick with you because it is hard to change. So go with something that is most likely known, that is easy for you to navigate and use, and that I can promise you that changing CRMs is a lot of work if you don't have that nailed down. Transaction management services, we have it in-house. You don't have to, but make sure you have that. That's someone where your team can go to, a specific person. Emailing platforms. So, how do you guys all cohesively email each other? Do you have, um, your name at myteam.com, whatever that is? Make sure you have an email platform. Email signature. You want everybody to have a nice email signature to look cohesive. Communication channels. How do you speak to each other? When we started, we just used iMessage. We always kind of joked when someone had an Android because it threw our iMessage off. So no offense, but it did throw it off. But what are your communication channels? How do you guys all cohesively talk together to each other? What does that look like? Branding, what is your logo? Make sure you have a logo that everybody can cohesively use. It doesn't have to go deep into branding and all that right now, but what is your logo that everybody knows and represents? And then most importantly, what's the culture? So who are these people? What are your core values? Who are these people that you're going to have with you, and how are you going to hire going forward? So Beth, I don't know if you have anything, but that is like really what we think 101 should be.
I think you said everything, and that's why 110%. And I just want to echo the CRM, and I want to talk about why too. One is like Siri said, it's just a beast to change. It definitely is something that, like, when you think of things, where can I save money? Where can I get by with like a spreadsheet or something simple? You definitely should do that. Money and resources is important if you're growing something, but this is one area where it's worth what you're going to spend, because like seriously, what happened to me too is we did like a few, I think, I had Boomtown at one point, and then we went to what was that one? Contactually, it was something before that, and then we did and every time you ask an agent to adopt, when we got to Follow Up Boss, those agents that were asked to switch are still the ones to this day that really struggle. They never really like, because they just thought like, whatever, this isn't going to stay either. It's probably going to change. And now going forward, it is the one thing that is like, we try to keep consistent, right? I mean, that's your people, your database, everything. And that's like not something you want to take lightly. It can cause so many, right? You can lose business, you can lose like agents adoption. If they're not adopted and bought in, it's harder to track, to measure. I mean, there's so many things that are fraught with just the CRM. I just want to talk about, again, echo how important that is, right?
Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
for our agents.
And by the way, we don't like, we'll show you what we're using. We're not paid to like promote any of these like services we use, but I'm telling you, like we've landed on a great CRM for us, for sure. Oh. All right. So this, by the way, today, because I know we just kind of like dove into it, which is cool. So we just want to get into the meats, right? Let's just go. This presentation today is going to be very much filled with some visuals for you guys. So we will open it up at the end to do some discussions. Feel free if we need to go back and kind of like go through some of these slides and stuff in more detail. But we're going to have a lot of visuals for you guys. Okay, so what we're showing right now is for the brand. So our solutions is Follow Up Boss. I'm sure you guys have heard of it for CRM. Sisu, it keeps track of our goals, productivity, and our reporting. Slack. So Slack is what we use for our communication platform. And when we start, so again, we did iMessage or messaging, just regular texting. Then we went to Slack and it was free Slack. So you can have Slack for free. Then we went to paid Slack because we now use Slack at such a huge level, and it's basically a way for us to, like, you can search stuff and you can go back and you can find it. And Slack is amazing for us, but we do pay for it now, but you don't have to. We have, as far as lead opportunities for our agents, we have elite referral partners. And we have a way for them to earn basically the opportunity to go on these programs. So it's a way for them to work hard and have lead opportunities to supplement their sphere of influence. We have built out an operations department, which I'm super proud of. I love our operations team. It's taken a lot of work to find the right people, and I didn't always get it right. And we've had to let people go. We've brought in the wrong people. Who we have now has been really a labor of love of getting the right people in place. I just want you guys to know it didn't start like just magically, oh, we have all the right people, you know? But we have a really robust operations department. And then training and mentoring, we have not only our agents, but we have now Brenda, who's on the team and does, training and mentoring. So our agents are mentors, and we now have hired somebody over the last year to come in and do heavy training. So these are our, high level solutions that we wanted to show you guys that we offer to our agents. Of course, we're going with me still. Okay, cool. So this is just a visual. Anybody that knows me knows that I love looking at things. So visually, you're going to see all the logos here. So a couple that we didn't talk about, G Suite. So G Suite is like Siri at thebrandrealty.com, right? Those are our email platform. We have Zoom at a higher level. We Follow Up Boss is our CRM, Thinkific, which is actually going to be changing over to another program, Kajabi. But that is our online. So when agents come on, we have that built out so that they can onboard on it. And we have that built out. YStamp is our email signature that we use. Obviously, Workplace, you guys know better at Real. Resin, Real. We use Zip Forms and Slack, Authentisign. And then Real Scout is what plugs into our follow-up boss for agents to do searches with their clients and monthly market updates. So those are the systems that we give to our agents coming on the team. All right, cool. Me still. Lead opportunities. So here's the thing, and Beth, we've talked about this. Like, I think where it stumps people sometimes is they go, well, I'm going to start a team, but I don't have lead opportunities, right? You don't have to have lead opportunities like this to have a team. I know some teams, I don't know if some of you know, like Lana, for example, who's a friend of ours. She doesn't really have these referral programs, but she runs a team off of the referrals that she has such a great referral system, and she does a lot of events and she creates opportunity for her agents that way. And I just want to emphasize, you're going to see all these things on here and go, whoa, that's a lot of opportunity that we've worked on. Don't let this stump you, because you really can still create a team off of other avenues. But I'm just going to show you, what we do. So we're really big on online presence. So Upnest, Yelp. I've worked hard over the last, probably 8 years or so to build up my Yelp. And at some point, maybe we'll do a training on that for you guys. But we're number one in our area here on Yelp. We are partnered with Veterans United, Realtor.com, Rocket Homes. We're number one here in San Diego. Again, that's been a labor of love that I've been nurturing for about 18 years. HomeLight Elite, OpCity. We're on the Zillow Flex program and Ojo. So just to speak on that real fast, this all looks great, right? Man, is it a beast to manage. It is a beast in itself to manage. Um, I don't even know that I'd recommend having this many platforms to manage, but this is what we have, and we have ways that we have to segment the agents to earn their way into certain platforms and expectations and all this stuff. But just to give you guys a high level of the lead opportunities that I personally, by the way, as a team leader, have worked on really hard with these, basically the people in the back end with these companies to earn their business. That's my job as a team leader, to go and say, hey, I will provide this to my agents and you tell me the expectations, and then we'll make sure that they fulfill those expectations. And so that's what we provide there. Um, so this is a picture of our ops team. And again, when I first started, this did not look like this. In fact, if you guys look at, let's go, no, actually, Louis, go over to Louis. Do you guys see the Louis? You guys, Louis was my first. When I was just solo, Louis was my first. And I think I've had Louis for, I called him Louis for the longest time, and he never told me that wasn't how he was to be called. But Louis has been with me for like 7, 8 years. And I just basically started training him on a lot of stuff, and then move over to Suze. So Susie came on over here, and Susie joined. And so basically, though, what I want to show you is this has all been a process of adding these different layers as we see a bottleneck and a need. And each time we added someone, guess what? My payroll went up, and my stress of can we do this went up. And it's been a beautiful thing to watch all these people come into play and create our operations team and help our agents. And they're awesome people, really awesome people. So it's a blend of, we've got, I think, quite a few VAs, and also just, we call them our international team. And then we've got our local staff here. There we go. You're up.
Ooh, I'm up. Okay. This is our ops team, and I think it's fun, like, to show the differences. This is still just like Siri said, it was started smaller and then it's gotten bigger. But I have so I think, who's been the longest? We've had more, like, I think, change. Like, Jill, how long? Jill's probably the director of operations, is probably the longest in this group, but so Jill is director of operations, kind of overseeing everything. Beth Lindu is a coordinator, front facing, working with agents, and also does listing. And then we have Brenna, who's on here, who is marketing. Izzy is a coordinator slash some social media slash running the Rochester office. Eric is also a coordinator like Beth. And I think one of the things that's cool, maybe this is serious, we especially with before COVID, we were pretty set up to be digital. And Eric worked with me years ago. And what was really cool is Eric was great when I hired him. I hired him on the phone. I got really lucky because I think I've shared some stories last week of some not so good people assistants that I've hired. And Eric said, "You're going to hire me like without even seeing me." And I needed somebody. I'm like, "Yes, you sound great." And he's like, "But what if I have a mohawk? And what if I have like tattoos all over?" I'm like, "Great. I don't really care." But it was so funny because he was like so like blown away. But he came and worked with me. His wife was a resident at Mayo Clinic and ended up in a fellow leaving, getting a job. And so he lives in Chicago and still works for the team. Beth is in Minneapolis. Izzy is in Rochester. Jill's here. Jack is in Minneapolis. But we also have had people that have worked for us from like all over. So we are kind of spread in different locations. Jack is right now doing a lot of, we started adopting, like Siri was saying earlier, a lot of business development. She has Sisu. And we have something called open to close, which is pretty much like writing your own software and coding of how you want to handle transaction coordination. So Jack helped get that off the ground right now. Currently, his last month project has been working on Fellow, which Fellow is an amazing program. It's getting great, what do you say, like a conversion, but these are like massive like referral partners or these big programs that cost money. Maybe they don't seem like they cost a lot, but to run them effectively, they take marketing campaigns, they take development, they take admin, right? I mean, that's what Siri's saying is it's just crazy what a beast these are. Debbie is works with all the client success manager, and literally her job is like, right, just watching to make sure are people getting reached out to when somebody's online, is somebody just making sure that if they have any questions, making sure the agents are doing their job, making sure if they're not following up with leads, they get pulled and they go somewhere else. I mean, it's just like managing all of the leads and clients. Ashley's another coordinator. And then Luke is our intake coordinator, and he does all the sales, like whatever 500 of just the first glance of when they come in and then they go out. So uh, this is such an evolution, but over time, what we found, things that have never changed that I found from being small to larger is number one, agents, it's best if they just work with one person, right? I've had the listing coordinator, the transaction coordinator, but if they've got just like your one person that's your go-to, clients want one person that's their go-to. So that's Eric, Beth's, Ashley's role and Izzy is to be that person that the agent talks to. And then what we've done is build out support instead for them with VAs. And that's been a huge, like, I think, benefit to our clients' experience and also our agent experience. So
I was going
growing.
to say that too, like you get your core group of who you need, and then you support with VAs has been really great for us
Yeah.
too.
And also as
Yeah,
a business owner, right, for profitability and for making
yeah,
sure that you can grow. And you said every
yeah.
salary still is really scary to take on, because especially even as a team, if you think about the commission that you're keeping when we talk about what you offer, you have to double that, right? So I mean, you can't say like if I have a $50,000 salary, that means that someone has to generate 100,000 of revenue of GCI, gross GCI, in order for the team to get 50. And if I'm on a different split, if we're doing 70-30, then it's even more than that. So all of these numbers start to matter so that you don't bankrupt yourself.
Not only that too is the management of people, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you have to, when you bring in people, there's management of people. So you have to create that. You have to create. We use Orgonomy, which we won't show on here, but you have to create that chart of who's going where and who's managing who. Then that person reports to this, and we actually didn't really get that down until just probably a year and a half ago. Did we really kind of connect the dots properly on all that stuff? So again, that's been an evolution of who's watching who's managing who to make sure things are done right, you know?
Yeah. And I thought
So
like,
it's not just me.
right. And I want to
Yeah.
say like one other thing, like you said, is the management. And also, I know we're talking about big things. So to take it back small, like something that had I wish I would have known that always became a practice is like, who do you have and what is their capacity, right? What are they doing and what is getting missed? Because I think that every time we do this, sometimes you think, I need to hire somebody, I need to go out and get another person. But when we really do an assessment, we find like we might just need to shift. Oh, they actually aren't that busy. They can do this instead of just the
Hmm.
answer being, because I think that was my answer for a while, is not really sitting down and taking the time and just like hiring somebody else or getting a VA
Yeah.
or buying a service or buying a program. And that isn't necessarily like the best option either.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. Well, let's move over into culture. And again, you guys, if you have any questions or anything you want to add, please put it in the chat. We're going to go back and open this up. So if you guys want to go back and ask us any specifics on these slides of what we're doing deeper, we'll get there. So, um, all right, culture. Um, so culture, core values, team events, company culture. So like we actually just introduced this year because we were doing different things for the agents. We have a culture committee, and I think we were doing a pretty good job, but it really was the next evolution for us because again, we're building a team, and so you're evolving into certain things. And I actually got inspiration from Lana on this stuff. I was like, we're not doing great over here. We're doing okay. We're getting by, but like let's organize this. So this year we've hired an event manager who is in charge of putting this together. So she still works with some of our operations, but it really took a lot of the load off of our operations to throw these events and our agents. But we still have a little bit of mixing in. And so you can see here what we did is we started this back in, I think, November of last year. We started putting together, well, what do we want to do next year? So that by January, we were mailing out save the dates to our closed clients. And we were saying, hey, here's what's coming up this year. Here's what we're going to be doing. And then we have touch points for them. And then we also created for our agents, which I don't think this one's more for kind of we have a couple things going on. This one's for clients, but we also created one for our agents too. And obviously agents can go to this stuff and they should, but we created one so for our agents of what are we going to do for fun this year together? Because that's a team, right? What are we going to do to provide value for you guys to get out? And so, like, we have a Padres game that we're doing. We're running a boat. And so the agents got one of these too. And so this is where we, culture wise, I think we have an amazing culture. I know we do, but we really wanted to elevate it into a system and a budget too. That's the other thing. What is the budget for this? And so we had to map all this out. Who's sponsoring? Who's helping to bring in the money? And so this was something that we've cultivated this year. Are we learning? We totally are. Like our movie matinee, it sold out in 6 hours. And we were like, whoa, I guess we've got to like do this just a little bigger, a little different. We're going to get it all, nailed down as we go. But I just wanted to show you guys some cool stuff that we do for culture here. What else we got?
It's like a
There we go.
surprise what's coming next,
I
right?
know, I don't know.
Who's up? Who's up? What's going on? No, so
What's
I
going
think
on?
that so I wanted to show something similar and different in that culture. So I think one of the things that's cool, there's no one way, but like I see culture where it definitely is a family focus. I see where they have meals together. They think of each other's family, they're invested in each other's lives, and I think that's awesome. There are people that their culture is yeah, whether it's like clients events, I mean, whatever, they're different ones. I'm just gonna talk my own because obviously I know it the best. But I think that one of the things that I've always been passionate about in the culture is our values are growth, service, and foundation. So growth, like I love growing as a human being. I love I like flowers, anything that grows. I think it's important, but I think it's awesome to help people grow to that next level that they want to be, whatever that is. There's no just one path, one way. Everyone has to be top producer. That's not the answer. We have a value of service, so serving our clients, serving the communities that we live in, serving each other, just kind of that servant attitude. And then also that foundation of transparency, guidance, trust, all those honesty, good things. And I think that's what's really cool is when that got identified, when we talk about recruiting or anything that we're doing, that's how we're aligned. We're not aligned because we're the same age. We're not aligned because we like the same things. We're not aligned because we have the same familial status or whatever. I mean, if you took us all, and I'm sure Siri's same thing in a group, you would be like, how in the world did these people come together? Like they do not look like they should all be together. And that's one of my favorite things is that you can take this super eclectic, weird group of people. They're not weird, but the group is weird, but that we are all aligned in like what we believe in business. And that's what's so awesome. And that's what we talk about when we think of culture, right? Is that you're smiling? You're thinking the same thing? Yeah. So this is something like when I think about like kind of that North Star to your success, there's all these things that go into this like beautiful, like kind of constellation where it's like support. So Siri talked about that, like support of operational support. We need support as just a human in mentorship and training and have doing life with other people and doing work, like a really hard business environment is just I really believe in the and Siri does too like is I know this like the environment like having a work environment or feeling like safe, feeling like there's you're accepted, feeling like you collaboration, that you're kind of with people, the offices that we have. I think all of that really makes or breaks your success. Giving that technology, so that tech package opportunity, that's leads, right? Just having the opportunity leads, or it could be opportunity because one of the things I didn't do a lead slide is that we, just because it was so simple, I really built my business kind of Brian Buffini style, like through referral and just through networking and through people. And then we got in with Zillow and we did realtor.com. We did some of them, but like Siri said, they're so big to manage that we just went all in with Zillow, but really just having people help them see opportunity. That's like a big thing, right? And so even if like right now with the real estate market shifting, we don't have all the leads for everyone that they would like to have, there's still opportunity everywhere. So helping people see that and kind of coming up with strategy and how they can be successful. One of the things is options. Like I think it's options for leadership, options for growth. I think that's really important as you grow a team. Nobody wants to be a buyer's agent or just an agent forever and ever. Maybe someone does. That's okay. But a lot of people want just like, what's next? What's next? If we always are growing and we're going to stay and retain people, I think that there has to be some options for just ways to advance. And advancement doesn't mean it's months, it's weeks. I mean, some people it's like years, multiple years. Training and development, which Siri mentioned, is really important. Strategy, and then leadership. And why I kind of put it this way is some people are really good at some of these. Like some people have it. They're like, I love working at home. My environment works for me, and I know tech, and I just I don't need opportunity. I'm so slammed, but what I need is I need training and development. I need leadership. I need strategy. So just kind of picking like what someone needs, and this is a way of kind of fractionalizing it too. So that would be our culture is kind of always just the professional market expert guides here to help people. I think in this industry, and we had a conversation today with an agent. I met an agent that came to our office, and okay, yeah, there's no way. I was like, is this person gonna watch it? I don't think they're going to make it in the future of real estate. Like I can start to see the difference of life or business was easy for 5 or 6 years. Leads came in. I took a really passive approach. I don't have a presentation. I don't really have anything. I'm just kind of floating along. Like that's not going to work going forward. I think that all these agents with the commission changing, you're going to have to be able to speak to that, and it's going to be different. So we've always been for the person that time is more important than money. We are definitely not the DIY company. The DIY real estate will exist in the next year. That's not us. Good on you. Good luck with that, right?
All right, back over to me. I love your slides on there and your perspective. I hope you guys are enjoying too, just like the different visions of, I mean, I know Beth and I are very aligned with what we do, but
Mhm.
there's things that I'm even grabbing here. So I love this. So, all right. So we are really heavy in our marketing And thank you to Olivia, which is on here is Olivia, who is the person who makes us look so good. And so what we've done is I wanted to just show you guys that we have a marketing suite that we built out on the back end of our, so like and I know you have this too, Beth, like we have a portal where the agents can log in and they have all of this material on there. And so Liv and our amazing marketing VAs are in there all the time creating content. They use Canva. So for a system, they use Canva and they push these out to the agents to be able to have that. We also have print material in the office. We provide open house signs. They can get their own because we do allow self-branding and we actually help them with that. But we do provide those kind of things to the agents as well. And then Nick, who actually does a lot of my content personally, I'm going to see him today. But Nick started as an agent on the team, and he started during COVID, but he did a lot of kind of stuff up in Hollywood and filming. He does a lot of weddings and stuff like that. And one day we kind of had this aha moment of like, okay, Nick, why don't you start filming us? So again, kind of going back to like the evolution of stuff. Nick started as an agent. He's still an agent, but he definitely shines in this content creator realm. He's hilarious. And so Nick is really growing on our team into this role. And so what we do is we provide to the agents once a month after one of our team meetings, we have filming reels with Nick, and we cover that cost. We actually have a lender who helps us cover the cost. So how do we, help get that? But Nick will come in and cover reels, and there's a sign up for the agents every month, and then he'll push those out, and that's free to our agents. How cool is that, right? To give them a time, and it also supports an agent on our team, and it's just a really cool way for us to continue to find value and give back to our agents. So that is our market, some of our marketing. We have a lot.
Yes, you do. So I was gonna say, it's interesting. I wanted to go a different direction. I would say series marketing is equivalent to like our training. Like, you know what I mean? Like that is like definitely
Yeah,
so much. And not that we don't have marketing. I admire your marketing. And that was something that was inspiring to me when we first met. And yeah, you can't do everything well, right? So that's what we talk about with value.
yeah.
Like, what is it? And I love training. And so that was kind of like, I think, our beast of what we have. But what the way we look at it is our benefits of being on the team, and this is true in any team, is what you're giving is leverage, right? Their time. And so in the systems that allow to scale your business, because when you're starting out, and I've got a lot of young, new, great agents, they can't afford, I couldn't afford all that, right? But it's like, it allows you to grow your business faster. You can offload all those non-income producing tasks. And that really is, and I believe that for so many years. And I know that when I see younger agents, they already know this, that like, I am going to be like to use my time doing the highest and best thing. And it's not admin, and it's not running systems, and it's not doing that stuff. So I think that kudos to the shift where I see a lot of younger people just already knowing that leverage is a big deal. Marketing. So Siri, like I said, I was inspired by her marketing and thought like, oh, we should offer like marketing to everyone, and not even building branding, but that just was a lot with the capacity. So I think that one of the, what
We had a name that we had to live up to personally.
the
So
brand, right? I'm
the
glad I named
brand.
it brand. Yeah, so we were like, okay, this is not a success. We are going backwards. So we cut marketing, and realizing that that just isn't something that is that feasible. And so what we could do though is like Brenna, who's on, is built a beautiful brand, right? We've had this brand for a number of years now, and everything looks great. So all of your presentation materials, which a lot of people don't have, our website, that, right? Just like the brand, it's like there, it's all there for you, but like your individual stuff, that's like on you. And the best thing that we've had, I think, that came out of that whole mess is this switch to like, Brenna's been doing a phenomenal job monthly doing marketing support, like through training. And it was so awesome. Like, even if it's, how do I set up my Instagram profile? Like, how do I set up the highlights? Like, last month was on YouTube, and is YouTube for me? And really doing the research and effort, and just kind of giving that marketing perspective and like just expertise of this is what it would take, this is what it would look like, this is the money, this is the time. And that has been so huge from our agents. Like they love that. And then they can go ahead and just like go from there. Because again, we did not succeed. So we do enclave and we do corporate, if you think about it, marketing, but individual, it's more like strategy, answering questions, pointing in the right direction. Not that they couldn't hire someone, but we just try to stay out of that. Leadership and training, I think one of the things that's great is like, and this is written from a point of if someone was a partner, is we do have really comprehensive training, and it's very like actionable step by step. Like this is where you should be, this is what you should be doing. And it says for you. So what has been really cool for me, because this is my then like love, is going from training an agent to training listings, to training an advanced agent, to training someone to be a leader of agents. And so it's really cool that I love to work with leadership, other team leaders, and help them. And then even other people can train their agents or agents for them, which is awesome. We do have the consulting, we have training, like Siri said, all these partnerships require massive accountability, and learning all that and how to do that just helps you become great with agents in general. And then I also consult and help people learn, how do we hold people accountable? You know, can you motivate somebody? How do you help get people to their goal? Like, what does that look like, and support that level? And then we have that, like I said, leadership and management development. But we always think of like, so we want to find this talented agent and just back them up with this perfect client experience, you know, and you focus on what you do best, and we focus on like everything that's like there behind you, supporting you, making you look good. And then one of the things, I'm going to go fast because it's like, so one of the things that's cool is we have like a coach's corner. So we've got people like, there are people like Adam does sales, Noelle does sales, Marcia does sales. I love coaching on sales, but I don't have as much time anymore. I spend a lot of time doing team and leadership. Clients and business, same thing. The other three, social media is Noelle, structure and business is Marcia, and market experts, Marcia, Noelle. Like, but it's really cool to have this opportunity for people uh, to have like that coaching. We can go to the next one, because I was going to say, and the other thing is a little bit separate
I
from,
had a question on that one, actually. Question.
yeah,
Are those some of those agents? Because I
they're
don't
all
think that I see
agents.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're all
okay, got
agents.
it.
Yep, they're all agents
Yeah.
who have been in the business more than 10 years, and are just, they're ready for
Okay.
that next leg of their journey of like, hey, I love helping other people. They have more business. They want to maybe, you know, grow a team within a team. And then the training and mentorship is different. Coaching is very different from training. And I think it's really cool because like Andrew here loves training, but he's like, I do not want to be a coach. Like that, it is a different role. Teaching and training is you're standing up, you're presenting information, you're checking for knowledge and understanding. Coaching is like, I am going to come alongside, I'm asking questions, I'm partnering in a way with you, right? I'm there to hold the mirror up, reflect it back to you, hold you accountable, and that's a different role. So the training that we have Sales Agent 101, we train on systems and technology. We have a whole listing certification process. I love, there's even hub training. So there's like phone, like, and people still need to get on the phone, right? It's amazing. Like just even phone etiquette. I just have to laugh because especially like when you're younger, some people, they're like, no, I don't, I never talked on the phone. I just always texted or did whatever. So SMS training, which is like right messaging, lead follow-up. I think a lot of it is time management leverage when you get to be busy. We do have mentorship then for all of our new agents. And then we do come alongside and mentor people through their listing process, meaning that they pay a fee, they work with a senior agent up until they can demonstrate that they can do it. And then as they demonstrate they can do more and more, they get paid more. But it is also just an investment in their career and also our brand, and making sure that they're having that experience, the client is, and just to have higher conversion. So we kind of both. Josh is Zillow seller. Andrew. Doesn't matter who they are. Kate.
Cool. I'm gonna pick your brain on some of that stuff at some point. Okay, so office spaces. We've got three office spaces. As you know, we're with Real. So Real is a cloud brokerage, and so we have three spaces. We have our hub, which is a big warehouse style, 4,000 square feet. We have a lot of events and do a lot of fun things in that one. We have an office up in Riverside, and then we've got more of a shared co-working space down in San Diego. So we offer that to our agents.
And I didn't do a slide
Um,
for this one, but same thing, we have our big, what, 4,800 like hub in Rochester, video production rooms, et cetera. And then we have an office in Savage in the Twin Cities, and then we just lost one of our offices, but we're searching for another one, but they're all like smaller. So same thing with real agents, still really, that's something you could offer, is even if you've got as an investment or offer office space and take the risk of doing it. That's huge. We had 7
what I
people
want to say,
last week.
oh, sorry, Beth.
Oh, I was gonna say we had 7 people join
Sorry.
last week, and the office is like key. Mm-hmm.
So it's funny because here a lot of our agents rarely use it. They just kind of pop in, but it's definitely like if we don't have it, we hear about it too.
Yeah,
So,
Yes.
that's
I
what I
think
was
it's
gonna
an
say.
area,
But
I
we
think
just
it's
have
a
them pop in.
territorial kind of thing.
There's some people, like I
Yeah,
was introducing a couple of our people as new agents yesterday because we had a breakfast. So we're trying to get people in by like, well, I was just talking to Tim, an agent, he's lining up massages next month at the office, but it's like food
yeah,
or whatever, right? To get
yeah.
them in, and then we're
Food will
like,
get it.
"Hey, who are
Yeah,
you? Like, wow, welcome."
yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, like we have our mega team meeting once a month and we grill. So I have a couple of our agents who are picking up food and they're going to do tacos tomorrow at our team meeting and we have a grill in the office and they grill. So that food always brings them in. Massages,
Mhm.
that'd be awesome.
So you know what's crazy, Siri, is like so Tim is really good on the team, and he is so good at getting people to do stuff for free or sponsor. Like, so he got a guy
Hmm.
wants to grow his practice, and so he's gonna come and do massages, and Tim's like, I'm sure you're gonna get like at least one client. So he's gonna bring his bed in. And Brenna and I, the Longship, the Vikings Lake office that we worked at where the Vikings practice that we just got kicked out of because someone took it over. But they had we learned from that office because they had pizza, donuts, massages, taco, like
Yeah,
it was awesome. Yeah.
yeah, you got to keep it going. So
It's
yeah,
true. It's true. Like food,
it's
even
true.
down to the snacks, like in our main office, it's like the agents
Yeah,
that decide to like pop in and they're like, oh, where did all the snacks go? There's nothing that's ever missed by the agents, I have to say, but we try
yeah,
to accommodate them with these little hubs that they can congregate in because they start feeling a little alienated if they live 50 minutes away. So it's
yeah,
helped in the culture a little bit too.
totally. All right, we'll get jamming a little faster here. We do have a calendar that we provide to our agents, and so they always know where to show up when, and we create that on Google for our agents, so you can see how this is mapped out. Looks like you have
Hmm.
oh, you even have the stars like we do. Cool. I know we've touched on this a little bit. We do have a mentorship program, and we have a web page for our agents to be able to go on and just pick and interview mentors. So, Beth, I know you've got that mentorship program too. That basically we can't do it all, but you will as your smaller start where you are the
You're the
person that's
mentor.
training a lot of people. You are. And so, anyways, you eventually build this out to where your agents become mentors. And obviously, there's payment exchange for those kind of things. So, we do have that built out on our team. So, again, kind of like going into the onboarding training and mentoring, we have our hub, which you can see on the left. And then we have obviously the real workplace, which is where we are now to offer some additional support to our agents if they want to go there.
And same thing, we have an intranet, like a site, then and Thinkific, and like there's similarities. So I tried to take the time to talk about something maybe potentially different, show something else. So I always believe that everyone starts as an entrepreneur, right? I want to be a real estate agent. Like, great, you just started a business. Like, what are you going to do? So
Hmm.
it's awesome. So until you get that first yes, until you get someone who says, like, I want to work with you, I'm going to hire you, then you become a practitioner. So you're like practicing real estate, but like, we're practicing. And then the goal is to get to like a master practitioner. All of these things have like training, experience, sales that go into that. We're master practitioner. At that point, they've done a certain number of things, And then they can have the option to be a pod leader, which means like they're kind of running like a small group and helping agents. Then there's like a lead agent, and they have the option to have like a small team. And then the assistant directors, where we have like potential. I've got Brad, Noel, three assistant directors, and that's like a potential like partnership. We're looking at just this year, just finally doing some B shares and like rev share, and then director is running like the large team. You have ownership, that's like A shares or owners, and so that's kind of cool. But I think that this has been awesome to, if you are going to grow a team. I know a lot of people want small, and I wanted small too. I didn't even know what I wanted, but I think if you can get to that middle, I know Hatch did something, a messy middle. It's pretty awesome of like giving all these people this opportunity and all grow and build something together is pretty cool. And then the next one is like, so I've got a couple other ones where there are some people that definitely get into real estate, or they've been in a while and they love training. And so that where we talk about, I just put the experience where you can be that pod leader, you can be a trainer, or like that coaching, which is with the Enclave Way, which is like, what's the Enclave Way? How I did this. So and so that's just kind of a separate company that I kept them separate because they, well, it's a long story. It's a whole nother thing. And then the next
A
is,
whole nother training.
that's a whole nother thing of training, and nobody here does it. It's not even applicable yet. So we'll just skip it. And there's one more. Is that just us on the last one? Yeah, there
There
we
we
get
are.
questions. I want to leave some to you.
All right. Sweet. I hope that was like really helpful visually to see some of the stuff and you guys aren't just like, holy smokes, what do I do? Um, so I wanted to just again kind of remind you guys in the chat, we have a broadcast channel on Instagram we created, and I'd love to have you guys sign up in there because Beth and I are going to drop more things in there that goes a little bit deeper on some of these things that we're going over. But what we wanted to do right now is open it up to any questions that you guys have. We have about 10 minutes or so to open it up to any questions that you guys would like to go deeper on with us. So, what do you guys have here? And if you need us to go back into any slides or specifics, just let us know too.
I think it's cool
I
to
love
think
this.
about what you are going to
I love
offer.
the silence when we
I
ask this,
know.
I
Well,
just
I
have
was
to say.
asking my girls about this. I was like, nobody wants to ask questions. And it's like, no, I don't want to ask questions. But it's a smaller group today. A lot of us are just, our people. So I think watching live, but I think that why it's important to just even know what you value. It's so important for recruiting. It's so important for knowing what you charge. It's no different than going out and doing a listing presentation or a buyer presentation and saying it's a presentation, right? It's like, hey, you know what? And I've worked with a lot of leaders that it's like you get the opportunity to work with me, and that is something. I've done this for X amount of years. I have this experience. I mean, when I work with someone who's running a smaller team, we talk about, well, how many leads do you think you could have a year opportunity? Sometimes it's like 4 or 6. 4 or 6 is a lot. Like it's like double usually what a first year's agent business is, or second year. So sometimes it's even just saying like putting some like definition around that is so valuable, and it's going to allow you to have more clarity in who you are, what you have to offer, what you're charging. You're going to feel good about it. They're going to feel good about it, and nothing stays the same, as you can see. I mean, I could go back in my archives and you would see spreadsheets in like 101, right? Versus what it looks like today. And I think that it's awesome to know that like whatever you do, I just did something and I was like, I won't do that again. And I'm like going to change it, and we're never going to do that. We're going to do it different. And that's okay. That doesn't stop. So just the operation of the practice of it is to get clarity, even as a salesperson, of what you have to offer is really powerful. I'll just talk. Now, Siri, you can just talk. We can just talk. Unless someone wants to raise their hand or put something in the chat, right?
It's always interesting for us too, as we're putting the presentation together, to know what size team you guys currently have or are hoping to have too. That's like just an easy question, just to see where everybody's at currently.
I have a question. What CRM do you guys use? Let's start there. What are you guys using? TC, and 2 full-time agents, Lofty. Solo agent wanting to build, grow. No CRM starting Lofty.
What is
Cool.
Lofty again? Isn't that something that changes name? That's Chime,
Chime.
right?
That's Chime. Yeah. Yeah.
Lofty.
Lofty.
So
Oh,
I
we got
have
lots of
heard, and I
Lofties.
know it switched, but like Lofty or Chime. So what I've heard, and I've had someone run a team, is it's I think it's a lot of work to set up, isn't it? Like to make it yours. That's what I heard. No, yes, and I got a yes and a no, right? I saw that where it's like, yeah,
Just started
just
using it yesterday, John.
yesterday.
Are you in the
Yeah,
weeds? How many,
yeah.
John, how many agents do you have? What's your demographic?
So Sarah and I are a mighty team of 2, husband-wife team, and we have 2 part-time agents, but at the moment we're grooming 2 brand new agents to join within the next 3 months.
Yeah.
Okay, you are getting started. That's awesome.
Small
And
and
husband
mighty,
and
right?
wife,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
husband and wife's either good or bad. So it
We're,
could be an amazing combo or not.
we're one of those couples that people are like, I don't think there'll be any
You
issues.
flow it. Good, good, good. Yeah. Usually there's one that's more of the administrative side and one that's more of the sales side, typically in
Right.
those combos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Peanut butter and jelly.
I will
That's
say like
right.
even with, yeah, with Lofty too. That's why we said this one is so important because even just having the CRM and running the CRM effectively is like a huge value add. Like, right? I mean, that is like so
Yeah.
many. I coached standalone agents for 10 years and it was crazy how many it's like, where are your people? This is how we always started, right? On scraps of paper, all over the place, in my Gmail, right? So I always used to say for you, John, who's starting is like, or even Jen was starting, it's like 1 quarter. Starting a CRM, you should give yourself 3 months. And we're not talking it's the spring busy season. You might as well tack on another month. But to get it set up effectively, the thing is a beast. And it
Yeah.
is once you get that though, that's a good one. But I think Lofty, I mean, it's been around for a while. I'm not really super familiar with it, you know.
Yeah. Well,
I
so I just want to tell you guys, we used it. Is that where you're going, Liv? We used it before, and you were
Yeah, okay.
the
yeah.
guru. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to manage it for another team that I worked for before I came to Siri. And I don't know, I guess I came from 2 very system heavy. Siri's very system heavy, and so is the previous agent that I was with. So I feel like if you're system heavy, then I think no matter what, it just takes a while to customize and personalize because you want it organized a certain way. I wouldn't say Lofty is, my experience wasn't that it was particularly more challenging, but I didn't set up Follow Up Boss. We have somebody else who did that. So I wasn't a part of that. So I can't really speak to that. But yeah, and then it comes with Reel and then what's nice is it has the front end website as well.
So what I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to show you here is this is Lofty, as you guys know, which was Chime. And we actually use, so I personally use Lofty for like my own brand SoCal, which is like a side thing that George and I have because we partnered up. And so this is our website over there. And so what happens is we have Follow Up Boss, but these leads, because we use the same email address on here, they parse over into Follow Up Boss for us. But I personally, again, I'm not like promoting or demoting or anything like that. When I love the way that it looks, it's just so much in there. And when you grow a team, you can kind of get caught in the weeds of so much, and really less is more. And so for us, it just was easier for us to go with Follow Up Boss. Plus, Follow Up Boss is a little bit more of an open API as you go, because you'll see some systems you go, man, I wish that would speak to it. And so there was things that didn't always speak to it. So
And
that's
I
just kind
know
of my experience.
Jen
Yeah.
said that too, like with Follow Up Boss, like we both use it and we used it before Zillow. And we had a conversation actually, because we had agents on our team, it was a year ago, right? Where they said, oh, are you going to get rid of it because Zillow bought it? And I really just think like they're using it, they're going to take the technology and build their own thing, and Follow Up Boss is completely separate. And if you don't think that Zillow doesn't have all your people already, they probably do, because I'm sure every single human has been on Zillow. But I think that, like Siri said, the toughest thing, and we've done so much research to beat it, is it's easy, right? It's like that's user face is easy for agents. It's friendly. It has API, so everything can coordinate with it. You can build out automations. And sometimes when you get in these big beastly programs, it just, like we said, you don't have to use, you can use the basic level, but just like you were talking about Slack, right? We still have the free Slack. We can't get, really, our agents don't adopt, but you can grow into it. And that's what's great, is it has the capacity to just be this, like a Salesforce type huge thing, but it's, easy to use. So I am, and we don't
Yeah.
get paid by Follow Up Boss, and I'm sure Jill can. We've done so much research, and every time we look at it, outside of doing your own thing, there's nothing that beats that one comprehensively. But it's not a website, it's not anything. And I think you get one switch. Right? I mean, just if you're going to do Lofty, go all in, stay with Lofty until you do that one switch. Just don't switch it every year or
Yeah.
2 years or whatever.
I think as a small team, it was all right. I think here's the other thing. A lot of us are here wanting to get started, or we have a few people. It worked great for us. It was once we started to surpass maybe around like 15 agents or so, we were like, wow, we need to elevate this. So I just want to emphasize too, you guys are making a really good choice, and you get a, good price on all that stuff too. It's just, what is your vision? How big do you want to grow it? You might want to consider the longevity if you are going
And
to
to
be
consider,
looking
you
at,
don't know how big you want to grow it, right?
yeah.
Because you and I did not see where we are today when we started this. This was not the goal, right? Your goal
No,
was,
I always just, I don't know. I mean, I have 5 kids too, so I'm always just like, let's just go. So yeah, that probably was the goal for me. No, I didn't know. I didn't know. All right. I think we can probably get this wrapped up. I appreciate, Beth and I both do appreciate you guys all showing up. Just to go over our next session will be at the end of, so it'll be the 4th week. It'll be at 9 o'clock. So the first week is at 10 Pacific Standard. So whatever you're on, I'm just talking my time, so move it back accordingly. Um, and then we'll obviously, if you guys can join that broadcast channel on Instagram, put the link in here. We'll keep you updated on more things. You guys will get the replay. You guys can go back. Feel free to ask us any questions anytime. But we're going to be bringing in a guest, and to be continued on who that is, with a guest and their operations leader who runs a team of almost 100 people, 100 agents. And so we're going to bring them on and show you guys the same thing of what they provide, and have a chance to ask them some questions. So that's going to be the end of this month that we'll have that on. So anyways, anything else, Beth? I appreciate you guys showing up. It's nice to see everybody. Thank you.
bye.
All right.
Ready?
See
Bye.
y'all. Have a good day.